Trying to sell or purchase a brokerage can be a difficult, cumbersome, and often complex process. In the third installment of a short series on the merger and acquisition industry, host Renate Mueller, the president of Renate Mueller Consultants Incorporated, explains why some brokerages are harder to sell than others.
Yes, there are brokerages that are harder to sell, and I can give you just some general examples of what may be more difficult to sell. Everything is sellable, but for example, in smaller communities, there will be fewer buyers. So smaller communities do not have the opportunity to sell to as perhaps many potential purchasers as somebody in, let's say, the Greater Vancouver area has, or in Calgary or Edmonton or one of the major cities. Producers become issues. The difficulty in selling or for buyers or for sellers is there are no producer contracts in place. So the question is, who actually owns that book of business that's brought in by the producers? This can cause difficulty because it's a way of establishing the pricing structure. If the book of business is not owned by the brokerage, then how can you sell it? So contracts are relevant, as well as employee contracts are relevant, because there's always the consideration, what if that major employee, who might be a manager, moves to another brokerage? Are there non-compete clauses and so on? So do they have contracts with all their employees? And if they don't, they really should have them in place. Other areas of difficulty are if they have few insurer markets and one of the markets decides they don't want to do business with them, and so at the end of the year, then they have one less market, and maybe they only have two, now they're down to one. It makes it more difficult to attract buyers because they also may be losing those clients to other brokerages. Another example of difficulties would be high claims history. In other words, is the brokerage well run, or are they taking all comers? They have a high claims history that indicates perhaps the management and the employee experience, as well as perhaps the territorial area. Maybe they've got clients and in an area where there are high claims, and that could cause, again, for them to lose an insurer market because of the high claims history. And the final one that I have on my checklist on difficulty is ownership. We have found in the past, well, I guess into the current time period, insurers are providing financing for acquisitions. So the ownership may very well be that the insurer has the first right of refusal in selling the business, which restricts them to sell into an open marketplace, getting them perhaps the highest fair market value they could attain, because the insurer has got the right of refusal and will be buying it at a fixed sum that they feel is warranted, and yet the marketplace, it was put in the marketplace, could command a higher price. So those are some examples of some difficulties for buyers.